my vision for the PSO when I first joined was to build something that was going to be of relevance to our community, something that was going to bring something that they didn't have to Portsmouth and the seacoast area. That still remains my vision for the orchestra. But the building process over the last 15 years has been an incredible opportunity and experience, just to see how much difference we can make in our own community. Yeah, so some of the biggest changes that I've seen during the orchestra, obviously we went through the COVID years, and we can talk about how we all survived that. But it's really the development of a backbone in the organisation, in what we do on the stage, but also off the stage. Sense of pride in what we do and how we've grown in that, and our relationships with our partners around the area, especially the music hall. It's a very important relationship to us. So those have been some of the biggest changes that I've seen. So how much have we grown over the last 15 years? I would say enormously. I mean, when I first joined this, it was a community orchestra that was inward focused, rehearsed every Monday night, and played through music essentially for the people in the orchestra, and we performed as well. And I tried to change the focus from being internal to being external. And during that time, we've seen an awful lot of growth in terms of our personnel, people playing the orchestra, but also in our relationships with people in our community who now see us as an extremely high quality arts organisation. There are so many moments of the last 15 years that stand out. Obviously Beethoven 9, where we did the Portsmouth premiere of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony with 5 other organisations, so important. We did Swan Lake in Prescott Park with the Great Bay Academy of Dance. Fabulous performances, really amazing things. We also, of course, worked with Greg Brown on the commission for the Portsmouth 400th at this point. And we worked with his brother as well, Dan Brown, and we performed Wild Symphony with Dan actually narrating. That was a lot of fun. And of course last year we started our celebrity series with Itzhak Perlman, who's just one of the greatest musicians alive, and we get the chance to perform with him on stage at the musical. So many amazing things, and looking forward to a lot more. So obviously when you grow an organisation to serve a community, your first challenge is really to convince that community that A, that we are relevant and that we are necessary, and B, that we are worth supporting. And we've worked very hard at trying to make those connections and grow that support in an authentic way. 15 years ago I looked at the orchestra and I thought, well, how do we get from A to B? And there were several ways we could have gone about that. But I think what we did was try to stay true to who we were, our own identity, try and stay true to the New Hampshire spirit of growing something from the ground up, from the roots. And we took our time. And during that time, we proved to a lot of people in our community and in our area that we were worth supporting, and that we are here to stay, and that we are here to serve this community and bring the highest quality music to the people who we are from. It's for the people and from the people. If I had any advice for John Page back in 2011, I'd say stop worrying so much. At the beginning of all this, there were a lot of question marks as to whether we could actually get to where we are now. And with a lot of worrying along the way, a lot of concerns. But sitting here today and looking back going, you know what, just trust that it's going to work. Because it did. When I think of the future of the Portsmouth Symphony, I kind of have to start with where we are right now, and I'm really pleased to see the orchestra in such a stable place. We're doing really well. We've made all the right connections. We've got a lot of support, and a lot of people trust us and are expecting us to keep growing and to keep bringing this amazing music to our area. And that's our jump off point. So I think the future is extremely bright. I think anything is really possible with the support of the people in our community. And of course, we have to keep listening to that. We have to keep listening to what people want, but also we have to take their trust and give them what we think they also need in terms of an arts soul. So I think the future is extremely bright, and we will keep having these conversations with our partners in the area and try and build as many collaborations as we can. But I think it's safe to say that the Portsmouth Symphony is here to stay. Something about the Portsmouth Symphony that audiences might not know, that the Portsmouth Symphony exists. This has always been one of our, sometimes when we talk to people, the first thing they say is, oh, Portsmouth has an orchestra. In fact, when I moved to this area years ago, about 25 years ago, I was working in Boston, and I was doing a lot of traveling back to Ireland and the UK, and I said to myself, wouldn't it be great if Portsmouth had an orchestra? And it did. I wasn't aware of it at the time, and when I finally got involved with it, it's kind of funny to hear that same theme coming back. But of course that awareness is changing. I mean, we've done a lot to get ourselves out there. We were in New Hampshire Chronicle just a month ago, so we're really pushing the message of the PSO as being we're here, and we're here for everybody. As far as what people don't know about the orchestra itself, it's a real mix of very like-minded people, but from all walks of life. We have professional musicians in our ranks, but we have a lot of others as well, who are teachers, who are music educators, who are administrators, and they're just incredibly passionate about music. And when you come to a performance, the thing that I hear most from people is just when they come to performances, just the passion that they see on the stage and the connections between the players on the stage, and that all comes from the mix of people that we have in there. So it's incredibly, it's a unique mix of people, which makes us who we are. A bucket list piece. I have a huge bucket. There are lots of pieces that I want. I mean, there's Mahler's Second Symphony. I really want to do that at some point with this orchestra. There's some of the Strauss tone poems. I want to revisit some pieces as well, like all of the Brahms symphonies. I'd love to go back and do those again. There's so many. They're so diverse. Video game music. I think that would be a great thing for us to do. Play along with movies. We've talked about that and how we want to do that as well. So you play along the music score as the movie shows on the screen. So there's a lot of things that in the bucket list. But if you ask me what the number one was, I think I would have to say Mahler 2. Of course, the challenge with Mahler 2 is it's got a full chorus, it's got soloists, it's got an organ, it's got offstage brass. So the big question is where we would do that. But I think the orchestra would really enjoy that, and I think our audience would really enjoy that as well. So I think that's number one. Yeah. And just my final thoughts of looking back in the last 15 years. We really have done this as an evolutionary project. We've built this and grown this organization and this orchestra in a very careful way. Very aware of the fact that New Hampshire prides itself on grassroots. And I think we try very hard just to remain who we are, our identity, not losing our connection with the community, but also bringing new people into the organisation who were like-minded, who understood that, and understood that the necessity of remaining part of the community. You know, the Berlin Philharmonic started life as a community orchestra. The Boston Philharmonic, all these big orchestras they started because at some point someone wanted to create an orchestra and brought a lot of musicians together to play, and they grow. And we've been very careful about that growth, and we will continue to be careful about that growth and to curate the trust that our audience and our supporters have given us, that we will continue to remain relative and relevant to our community.